Good morning, Better Country 101.7 The Bull. I've got Dan Sullivan with Sullivan Auctioneers, a big iron company, in the studio with me. Dan, how are you this morning?
Good, Hayden. How are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming in. It's a pleasure to have you here and meet you. We've met a lot of your team so far, so to have you in is exciting today. We're just going to kind of dive into Sullivan Auctioneers and how it's become such a powerhouse in the industry these days. So, Dan, with Sullivan Auctioneers, let's just kind of go back to where it started. How did you get into this industry? It's a big one.
Well, Hayden, thank you for asking. It's been quite a journey. You know, we started this thing back in 1979, actually August of 79, when my brother Mike first went to auction school, probably before a lot of your viewers were even born.
Auction school.
But we had our first auction on Saturday, October 13th of 1979, and I graduated from high school the following May, and then I went straight to auction school in June after that. So that's basically all I've done, Hayden. It's been quite the journey.
Okay, and so it sounds like you and your brother just kind of had a dream, kind of ran with it. And so where did that start, and then just kind of wanted to take it to the next level? I mean, did you just start doing just basic auctions, land? I mean, how did you get to doing so much? I mean, because you guys are not a small auction company by any means.
No, we aren't, Hayden, but we sure were when we started out. You know, I never would have dreamed that we'd be at the level that we are now. But
right.
It just it's not just one person. You know, it's somebody asked me one time, I'll never forget it. They said, "What do you think? You know, when you think of Sullivan Auctioneers?" And the first thing that came to my mind, and it just kind of was simultaneously, is family. You know, I'm one of 11 children, and we started this basically from grassroots and doing small household sales and scratching and struggling for anything that we could do to get a sale.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I remember our dad saying, you know, if we could just get in front of the people and show them what we could do. And you have to love the business. I never have, and still do not look at it as work.
Sure.
It's just something that we have enjoyed doing, and it's been a family affair, and just, again, a journey that I never, ever would have expected to be where we're at today, and we're still going and still growing as we move forward.
You can see, you mentioned the family, and it's very much, if you look at SullivanAuctioneers.com and you look at some of the staff and some of the team on there, I mean, that Sullivan name is strong. And to have an operation like this, having those close working with you is some of the best to be near you. So let's talk about Sullivan Auctioneers, where you're at now. I mean, it's got to be gratifying to see, you know, to look back and see you're all over the place. This is not a Midwest thing. This is not an Iowa or an Illinois. I mean, you're all over the country.
Yeah, we sure are, and you know, I've been the fortunate one over the bulk of the time to be in front of the microphone and do to kind of be the main auctioneer, if you will. But and I'll come back to your question in a minute. But going back to the family, you know, I'm number 9 out of 11 children, and you know, you look at all of them in the business. My brother John actually went to auction school with me. My brother Bill, who gets very little window dressing, but is very instrumental. He's in the office the first one in the morning and the last one to leave. My brother Joe, my brother Jim, my son Michael, and my nephews Luke and Matt Sullivan. So it's just a combined, you know, effort of everybody, and nobody's really the boss. We're just to have good people around us. But yeah, you know, we started out, we were just pretty much local, and we just felt that as we move forward, that if we could get again in front of people and show them what we could do, and so then it seemed like being right there on the Iowa-Illinois border with the Mississippi River, it's hard to get across that creek. Finally, when we got into Iowa, and then we got into Missouri, and then that person knows somebody. And our saying was, you know, border to border and coast to coast. There's just no boundaries, and we'd go anywhere for a sale. And I think once people knew that we would travel, and then it just really kind of exploded. So there's no boundaries, Hayden, to where, you know, we've been to your state, Texas, you know, several times. And I just got back from Oklahoma City last week. So there's no boundaries.
It's a good business to have that trust within the business, and then your clients, because the word of mouth, you know, people have land here, they might also have land over in Montana, and they might, you know, so that transfer is very valuable. Sullivan Auctioneers, a big iron company, coming in every Wednesday, hanging out with us. If you're just tuning in, Dan Sullivan with Sullivan Auctioneers, hanging out with us. Dan, where is Sullivan Auctioneers, a big iron company, going in the future?
Well, if you'd asked me that in 1979, I'd never dream, Hayden, that we'd be here now. But, the sky's the limit. And now a Big Iron company, the two companies, Sullivan Auctioneers and Big Iron together. Matter of fact, the owners of our parent company, Big Iron, was actually the executive team was here this week at our office, Mark and Ron Stock, along with, Emily and Jack and several of them. And, there's things that are going on right now that's going to even move this thing further. And we just could not
exciting news.
Yeah, it really is. I just hard to tell them that where it's going to end up, but it's we're not done growing.
Absolutely.
And again, it's the people around you. And it doesn't have to be a Sullivan. We have Cody Holtz and we have Ben Heaton and we got the Hoyer boys, and we could just go on and on about those folks, and nobody. I remember one time somebody said, "Hey, boss," and I said, "No, I'm not a boss. We're all equal."
Yeah.
And I've always looked at it that way, and I think that's been a lot of the success of Sullivan Auctioneers, a Big Iron company, with the people that we have around us. Hayden,
you got a team. Everybody's got a job, and you're executing it to an extent. And you mentioned Greg Hoyer. I want to go back to him. He's got a really nice classic auction, car auction coming up in February. I want to give him a little bit of shout out with that information.
Craig's a nice young man, a third-generation auctioneer. Of course, the Hoyer family and name has been known, throughout the entire state of Iowa,
right?
As an auctioneer. Craig, not only is he probably one of the nicest young men that I've ever been around. He's got a great wife and just had their fourth child, and he's just a good family person. There's more than just work and in the auction business. You look at the people around you, and he's just a great guy. But yeah, we have a really nice car auction. That car auction has really just grown. It's exploded, over the last several years. I kind of go back to right here in southeast Iowa. We had a sale for the Gabeline family several years ago, and they was very well known and had cars and different things, and it seemed kind of like from the Gabeline auction moving forward that even made that car auction more bigger. My brother Joe has been very instrumental in the car auction. He's actually the one that started it, and Joe does a lot behind the scenes in that car auction with Craig. But yeah, just excited. That's a 2-day auction coming up. We were having 3 sales a year, Hayden, and now we're having 4 car auctions a year.
Yeah.
And it's all absolute, unreserved, no buyer's premium, and so kind of have all the elements for a really strong sale there coming up.
Should be a strong one, and with the catalog, it should be good. That's February 19th and 20th, coming up in a few weeks. You can see the log now, and all the sales that they have going on, over 10 different consignment categories. Sullivan Auctioneers, you can see all the details at sullivanauctioneers.com. Dan Sullivan with Sullivan Auctioneers, thanks for coming into the studios and spending some time with us.
Absolutely, Hayden. Good to have you.